Hello everybody, my name is Sylvester Wright, aka Written Prose. I want to welcome you to Up From Deprivation, and we're going to be continuing our series on the power of music. Today we're going to talk about where the primary civil rights movement started according to history. We're going to be talking about a couple of the different leaders that were prominent in the civil rights movement, and of course, since we're talking about the power of music, we're going to talk about some of the top songs of the civil rights movement. We're also going to have an awesome interview with lmarriemakes, or Marrie of lmarriemakes. You're going to have all our information. She is awesome, and that's going to be in the Entrepreneur's Corner. After that, we're going to continue our talk about the power of music and the psychological effects and how strong it is and why music is used in advertisement. So stick with me and welcome. One of the catalysts of the civil rights movement. 1955, Rosa Parks, a member of the NAACP, is arrested on the bus for refusing to relinquish her seat to a white passenger. Rosa Parks was subsequently arrested, and this is one of the main catalysts that began the civil rights movement. Some of the important events and groups that were instrumental in the civil rights movement are the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Congress of Racial Equality, March on Washington movement, which happened in 1963, Little Rock Central High School, which you also may know as the Little Rock Nine, which happened in the fall of 1957. And we'll talk about that. In 1957, it was deemed illegal to have segregated schools in Arkansas. The governor of that state at the time, Orville Faubus, decided that he didn't like the desegregation and that he would call in the National Guard, the Arkansas National Guard, to attempt to stop 9 black children from enrolling in a then all-white school. This was 1957. In 1963, Martin Luther King put together the Walk on Washington. And it wasn't just Martin Luther King. He was just the leader at the time. There were other men and women who were instrumental in putting it together. The March on Washington took 200,000 people, blacks and supporters, non-blacks, to Washington, D.C., where they rallied and Martin Luther King gave his great I Have a Dream speech. As you can see, the civil rights movement was really a movement that was always going on. Blacks have always been fighting for their right for equality in many different places, many different areas. But we've always been fighting for that. So let's get into the music. The music has always been an instrumental part of the civil rights movement. Even when the movement may have physically died down, meaning there weren't as many marches and it may have seemed as if it were out of the spotlight, the movement continued through music. Even while it was going on, there was music going on, but it also continued through music. Some of the most well-known music of the cause starts with Wade in the Water, 1965 by the Staple Singers. This Land, 1960 by Odetta. A Change Gonna Come, 1964, Sam Cooke. Too Many Martyrs, 1964, Phil Och, or Och, OCH. The Train, 1965, by the Staple Singers. This Little Light of Mine, 1964, also by Sam Cooke. And Old Jim Crow, 1964, by the amazing Nina Simone. Why? The King of Love, 1968, again by Nina Simone. And Underdog, 1967, by Sly and the Family Stone. Now, if you get a chance to go to my podcast, you'll be able to listen to those songs within the podcast. So go and check them out and enjoy them, and just get a feel of the power of music and how it influences and motivates and moves people. And also remember our African proverb, which says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. And how it applies to music, and the fact that we have a struggle as black people, people of color, a struggle for equality, and yet every musician does not support that struggle with their music. If we go to 1963, the top songs, none of the top songs had anything to do with the Civil Rights Movement. In fact, one of the top songs was Surfing by the Beach Boys, which was actually stolen music from Chuck Berry. Think about that. Now, let's take a little quick break, a little quick detour. Welcome to Up From Deprivation, and we are now entering the Entrepreneur's Corner. Wee! First of all, welcome to my viewers. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. I want to welcome my guest. I am honored. This is the lovely Marrie. And I'm going to allow Marrie to introduce herself, or rather what she does, the many things that she does. Why don't you go right ahead?
Hi, my name is Lisa Marrie. I'm an actor, artist, and cannabis content creator.
Actor, artist, and cannabis content creator. Cannabis connoisseur. Okay, so why don't you tell us about your businesses that you actually run right now?
Okay, so the businesses that I actually run right now are myself, because I am a business, I'm a brand. So as an actor, I run my brand, which is me. And then I also have a handmade jewelry business, lmarriemakes. And then I have a cannabis related accessories brand called Weedy Green. And then I have History High, which is my cannabis content creation. And I think that's it. Okay. And how long have you been doing these businesses? To the best of your knowledge. Well, the Weedy Green just started this year and still is kind of under development. lmarriemakes, my jewelry business, I've been doing for about 6 years. And then acting, I've been doing off and on since 2008, but just now jumping back in.
Okay. And History High?
In History High, I started February. I started History High February of this year, and I'm happy to say that the platform that I'm on, I have already become monetized, so I'm excited about that.
It's awesome. If you haven't seen History High, you have to go to theweetube.com, right? Mm-hmm. Theweetube.com and hit History High 1.
No, it's History High.
Oh, just History High.
Or download the WeTube app.
Exactly, or download the WeTube app. History High is an amazing show. She does hidden and forgotten history. And I've learned so much stuff just watching it. So could you tell us about your very first episode?
My very first episode was about a lawyer named Clara Shortridge Foltz, and she actually ended up eventually moving here to California. And the way I learned about her was I was doing jury duty at the courthouse, and there was a pictogram on the wall about her, and the story was just so fascinating. It was maybe about 15 pictures that basically told her life story, and it was just so interesting that I decided to look her up. And I was just so fascinated by her story that I decided that I need to tell somebody, because people need to know about this woman, because she was responsible for a lot of reforms in the criminal justice system, including the parole system. So I really wanted people to know about her and tell her story. And I also wanted a platform where I could enjoy smoking my cannabis. And I didn't know something like that existed. So then when I found the weed tube, I was like, this is the place, and I'm going to tell Clara's story to these people. And luckily they received it and enjoyed it and wanted to hear more. So I'm still there.
Think about that. You can go and learn and burn at the same time.
Well, I might have to put that on my merch. Learn and burn.
Learn and burn.
Ooh,
okay.
That's good.
Okay, so how long have you been an entrepreneur?
Oh, my life.
Oh, that is true. I've known her just a little time I've known her. She's always been an entrepreneur. Why did you become an entrepreneur? What is it about? What is it that pulled you into becoming an entrepreneur? I know it's a lot of things, but
I think part of it was because my dad always talked about owning his own business. And I never really, and my dad actually was an entrepreneur, because I never thought of him as an entrepreneur, I guess, until recently, because he always did work a full-time job. But my daddy always had several side hustles. In addition to his regular job, my daddy was an electrician, a carpenter, a mechanic. He built houses. He laid foundations. Almost anything you name, he did it. And he did all of those as side jobs. And so basically he really was an entrepreneur, because all of those were his businesses that he was running and managing, along with having a full-time job. And then his dream he always wanted to own a store. And he never did do that, but it was something that he always talked about. So I guess I was exposed to the idea of wanting to be an entrepreneur from a young age. And then as I started getting into the workforce and saw how much effort I had to put in to work for little appreciation and little pay, I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to do what I want to be doing, and I want to get paid what I want to get paid, and I don't want to have to report to somebody else or let somebody else determine how much my service is worth.
Wow. Okay, now this segment of the Entrepreneur's Corner is called What Are Some of the Challenges? Now, what are some of the challenges that you faced starting your business?
Money.
I think that's a universal challenge.
Money, and that's still a challenge. Money.
Okay, and what about during COVID? What are some of the challenges that you faced during COVID?
Trying to find new ways to reach people, because especially with lmarriemakes, which is the jewelry business, a lot of the business, or really the majority of the business that I did, was from going to like art shows and stuff like that. And now none of that's available, so I don't have that. So I have to find other ways to try to reach people, because even though it's very important, don't try to have a business and not have an internet presence. You need to have an internet presence, but you can't rely just on your internet presence. Some people make it work, and they're able to really, make a lot of sales, but it really is a combination of doing that in person and internet. But now, since all we can do is internet, it's kind of been a challenge, especially since I'm used to like selling in person.
Beautiful jewelry, by the way. So, and last one, what are some of the challenges you face as a minority?
Not getting the same attention, I guess, because, or I don't know, I want to say respect, but I really don't want to say respect, because I don't know if that's the right word. But for instance, like if you're, not talking about any particular platform at all, but as an example, if you're on a platform, say you're a content creator and you're on a platform, and there tends to be favoritism leaning towards non-people of color on different platforms, like you'll tend to see, I don't want to say because I don't want to be generalizing, but you'll tend to see that with equal content, saying that the quality of the content was equal on both sides, you'll still tend to see non-people of color's channels or programs or content grow a lot faster than other people, and you also tend to see a lot of times those people getting more recognition and more opportunities, like for brand deals and things like that, than people of color. And I've seen that across all kinds of different platforms, because like we said, I've been doing stuff for a long time, so I've been on a lot of different platforms creating content, because I've been creating content for a long time too. I didn't really realize until I started talking about this how long I've actually been creating content online, but that has tended to be something I've noticed across all platforms that I've been on, and I think it carries over into all aspects of all different businesses too.
Okay. Now, what advice would you give your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to be persistent and consistent and not to give up. Because I started a lot of businesses when I was younger, and it's not going to happen in a week or 2 weeks or a year. Sometimes it will, but for the most part, when you go into a business, you have to go in with a frame of mind that first of all, believe that it's going to work out, but also know that it takes time to build a business and to grow a business. And it could be 5, 6, 7 years before you see anything happen. But if you really believe in what you're doing and you believe in that business and you're persistent and consistent, you'll start to see that business grow and take off.
All right. Okay. Well, that I think that would be would that be the same advice you would give to other entrepreneurs?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Now, why don't you go ahead and give your social media contacts so that everybody can get in contact with you?
On social media, I'm History High 1. And if you want to find my jewelry content, you can find that on Instagram at lmarriemakes. And my cannabis-related merchandise, Weedy Green. Well, on Instagram, it's Weedy_green. And then the website is weedygreen.com.
Okay. Do you have any last words?
Oh, and all the links to all of those is in my bio on Instagram, History High 1.
Okay. Any last words?
And if you own the name History High on Instagram, can we talk? Because I really would like to have History High instead of History High 1. Somebody has that name.
Okay. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and got some fruit from this beautiful session of the Entrepreneur's Corner. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Tell everybody about this channel. This is something positive. And if you like it, let everybody know you like it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.